Hello everyone, and welcome to Up and Running, the deck tech series that helps you get up and running with a new deck as soon as possible. This series will teach you how to pilot the deck, main win cons, strengths and weaknesses, key card choices, mulligans, what to watch out for, and how to stop it if you're against it. Today's deck is Godo Bandit Warlord. This deck, called Godo Helm, utilizes the 2-card combo of Godo Bandit Warlord and Helm of the Host to win the game very quickly. So, let's dive right in. This deck is a proactive deck, meaning this deck seeks to win as fast as possible. A turn 1, 2, or turn 3 win with this deck is very common. You will like this deck if you like to win through combos, win through attacking, are all in on one strategy, love mono red, and let's be fair, you like rooting for the underdog. But before we go any further, let's talk about our commander, Godo. Godo Bandit Warlord is a 3/3 legendary human barbarian for 5 and a red. Godo reads, when Godo Bandit Warlord enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an equipment card and put it onto the battlefield. If you do, shuffle your library. When Godo attacks for the first time each turn, untap it and all samurai you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. The main strategy of this deck is to resolve Godo from the command zone, fetch up the equipment Helm of the Host, equip it, and win the game. But how does that happen exactly? How does the combo work? When you resolve Godo Bandit Warlord, its ETB trigger allows you to search up an equipment and put it directly onto the battlefield. You search up Helm of the Host. So let's read what Helm of the Host does. Helm of the Host is a legendary artifact equipment for 4 that reads, at the beginning of combat on your turn, create a token that's a copy of equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary if equipped creature is legendary. That token gains haste and has equip 5. So, Godo fetched up Helm onto the battlefield. Then you equip Helm of the Host onto Godo. Now, when you move to combat, Helm of the Host will trigger. Helm will create a copy of Godo Bandit Warlord, and the copy won't be legendary, meaning it will stick around. It also grants haste to the token. So, in combat, and with a 3/3 hasty Godo, you can attack. When you attack with Godo, its ability triggers, untapping it, and granting you an additional combat phase after the one you are in. After your combat ends, you will enter directly into another combat phase. This will trigger Helm, create another copy of Godo, and the process repeats. You can do this infinite times until you win the game. So how do we get there? Basically, if you have 11 mana, 6 for Godo, and 5 to equip Helm, you can cast one spell, Godo, and effectively win the game. So this deck seeks to get to 11 as quickly as possible. The most effective and fastest way to win with Godo is its MVP of the deck, Treasonous Ogre. Treasonous Ogre is 3 and a red for a 2/3 Ogre Shaman with Dethrone. It has a mana ability that reads, pay 3 life, add red to your mana pool. Since EDH starts with such high life totals, and we only need 11 mana to win the game, we can effectively pay 33 life and win. Pay 18 life, cast and resolve Godo. Pay 15 life, equip Helm. This deck also runs every cheap mana efficient rock possible in order to get to 11 as fast as we can. This includes rocks like Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, Chrome Mox, Mox Diamond, Lion's Eye Diamond, Arcane Signet, and a host of others. We also run every mana positive land we can, including lands like City of Traders, Sandstone Needle, Dwarven Ruins, Crystal Vein, and others. We also seek to try and reduce the cost of a combo by using equipped cheaters. These are things like Brass Squire, Magnetic Theft, Twin Flame, and Panharmonicon. So let's talk briefly about some of the lines we can use with some of these spells. With Panharmonicon, you get 2 Godo search triggers when it enters the battlefield. With the first trigger, you search up Hammer of Nizan. When it enters the battlefield, you attach it to Godo. You then resolve the second trigger and fetch up Helm of the Host. Since Hammer is on the battlefield, it will trigger and attach Helm to Godo automatically. With Twin Flame, you cast Godo and fetch up the Hammer. Then, cast Twin Flame targeting Godo. It will create a copy of Godo, creating another search trigger. The Godo token will die to the legend rule, and the trigger will resolve, allowing you to fetch up Helm and go for the win. So now that you know the main combo lines, let's talk about piloting the deck. Your opening hand keeps will depend on what you're up against. Godo can usually race most other fast combo decks, so openers that demonstrate a turn 1, 2, or turn 3 win are always great. For disruptive metas, this deck runs a suite of stacks and hate pieces. If you are running up against something like Hulk decks, Yisun decks, or decks that love to search, things like Grafdigger's Cage and Stranglehold are good to keep in the openers. Greedy mana bases get punished with things like Blood Moon and Magus of the Moon. Heavy blue metas will love something like Pyroblast or Red Elemental Blast in the opener, as well as something like Direfleet Daredevil to steal interaction or a tutor from the graveyard. In your first 3 turns, seek to win if you can. Most people are developing their board in these first turns and aren't always equipped to interact so early. If in a disruptive meta, make sure you can get out your hate pieces first. If you are disrupted in your first turns by hate or interaction, seek to rebuild or seek to remove this hate before continuing in your path. The great thing about Godo is that it never ramps into nothing. If your Godo is countered or removed, you simply ramp to 13 instead of 11 to win, which this deck can still do fairly easily. If you are in the late game, look for an opportunity to win through the other established board states. So, now you know how the deck works, what should you watch out for? Also, if you are against this deck, what should you pack? This deck is centered around Godo, so some preemptive things to stop it are stacks effects that prevent ETB triggers. Things like Torpor Orb, Hushwing Gryff, or Tocatli Honor Guard will prevent Godo from triggering its equipment search. This deck is also centered around search, so Stranglehold, Mindlock Orb, Ashiok, or even Mind Sensor all shut down the search ability. Some other disruption you can consider are things that make creatures enter tapped. If Godo cannot attack, then it can't go infinite. Cards like Blind Obedience, Imposing Sovereign, and Thalia, Heretic Cathar all stop Godo from attacking. Since equipping is an activated ability of an artifact, stacks pieces like Null Rod, Collector Oof, and Stony Silence all stop Helm from equipping. Finally, good old-fashioned removal also stops Godo. Destroying Godo or Helm stops the combo. Creature removal, artifact removal, or permanent bouncing all work effectively. Make sure you use your removal with the equip trigger on the stack to maximize effectiveness against the deck. We highly recommend that you check out the primer on this deck listed in the description below. We also recommend a number of our gameplay videos to see it in action. The links are also in the description. A big thanks to the curators of this deck for piloting, testing, and creating the primer. Also a big shout out to the Red Love Discord channel for their passion, suggestions, and advice on Godo. What are your thoughts on Godo? What deck would you like to see next? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.